Good morning. Um, Today I'm going to be working on example 2 off of page 297. I would suggest that you get your textbook out and turn to that page before you go any further if you can, or at least read it over if you have to do it electronically, and then come back to the video because there's a lot of written stuff in it and I can't put it all on the board here. All right, here we go. So I'm just going to read the question to you first. Using inequalities to model and solve a problem. Jake plans to board his dog while he is away on vacation. Boarding house A charges $90 plus a $5 per day, plus $5 per day. Boarding house B charges $100 plus $4 per day. For how many days must Jake board his dog for boarding house A to be less expensive than boarding house B? Then what I'm asked to do with that is, first of all, choose a variable and write an inequality that can be used to solve this problem. So, how I would start with that, here I am, example 2, page 297, and I kind of took that this information out of that. So I have boarding house A, $90 plus $5 per day. Boarding house B, $100 plus $4 per day. So I'm going to put that information down first. So here's boarding house A, boarding house B. So what do I have here? I have $90, 90 plus $5 per day, plus $5, and I'll use my variable, I'll call it D for a day. Now I'm going to look at boarding house B. They're going to charge me a flat fee of $100 plus $4 a day. So that sets up my two sides. Next, I need to look at what inequality symbol I'm going to use in between them. And I get that from here. How many days must Jake board his dog for boarding house A to be less than boarding house B? So I want boarding house A to be less than boarding house B. And that answers, that makes my equality. For that A part, they asked me to make an inequality to describe that situation. 90 plus 5D is less than 100 plus 4D. So let me look at what they want us to do next. Well, they've asked me to solve the problem. All right. So this was the A part done. Make an equality. B. We're going to solve the problem. So I'm going to use this inequality. 90 plus 5D is less than 100 plus 4D. Again, remembering this is boarding house A, this is boarding house B. All right, so let's solve it. So what I'm going to do with that, I know I need the 5D and the 4D to be together on one side of the inequality. So I'm going to be moving that 4D over to this side. I'm going to I'm going to leave the 100 here. I'm going to move the 90 over there with the 100. And again, we know as they move across the inequality sign, just like they do in an equation, the operation is reversed. So let's go. Here we go. My 5D I said I'm going to keep. Over here I have a plus 4D. The opposite of a plus 4D, a minus 4D. Again, that happened because it crossed that equality sign. Equality sign stays the same. I have 100 here now. I'm going to move that 90 over to the right side. There's nothing in front of it. When there's nothing in front of it, it's the same thing as a plus 90. So it's going to come over as a minus 90. So 5D minus 4D gives me 1D, or just D. You don't need to put a 1 in front of it. So I have D is less than 100 take away 90 is 10. So what does that tell me? Well, for boarding house A to cost less, it has to be less than 10 days. Now I need to come back and give this a written answer. Anytime that you're given a written question and asked to answer it, well, you need to come back and reply with that, with a written answer, just like you would if you were talking to somebody. So, boarding house A, because this is my question, how many days must Jake board his dog for boarding house A to be less expensive than boarding house B? So I said, boarding house A will be less expensive if dog is left for 9 or less days. So there, we've done the B section. We've solved the problem. The next thing they asked me to do is graph the solution. All right. So again, I look at my inequality. I can look at it right here. Oh no, I look at the answer to my inequality. D will be less than 10. So make my number line for my graph. I'm going to start the middle as 10. Too bigger, 11 and 12. Too smaller, 9 and 8. I start off on 10. Again, it's going to be the hollow circle because it's not a less than or equal to. It's just a less than, so it's a hollow one instead of colored in. And this is going off to my D will be less than 10. So I'm going less. So that's my C part to it, graphing it. And that's it. Certainly, I think the toughest part to doing this type of question is trying to make the equality from the problem. So, what I'd like you to do now, I want you to go to page 299, and I want you to do questions 12, 13, and 14. All right. Good luck with this. And again, please, if you would, just respond back to me. Let me know how you're making out. So, you know, I know who's doing the work. And yeah. All right. Have a good one, guys.